All right. It says that we are live, and I'm going to believe it. I am going to believe it. Welcome, you guys. It is January 27th, 2025. It is 5:48. I'm about 3 minutes late. Want to jump on here real quick. I've just been uh, talking to my compadre Demetra K, educating her on her techniques when she's on social media, what she should do. Because as you guys know, I taught her everything she needs to know. So, man, like I told you guys, I can't believe the Eagles are up there representing again. If you guys saw that, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. The Jerry Jones head coach, oh my God. What was all the crying? What was, he knows football. He could coach it. Yeah, oh, I'm so embarrassed. America's team. So embarrassed. But next year we're going all the way. Super Bowl. Damn, you're damn right. Brother Reggie, what's going on in the Nippon? Konnichiwa. No, it's Ohio gozaimasu, where you're at. So good morning over there. Good morning, good afternoon. Thunder, hello, hello. It's just me, Thunder. I'm just coming on here real quick. If you guys saw the caption, before I get into that, let me get into all my tirades before I go. The Cowboys going to go almost undefeated next year. They might lose 2 games, romp through the playoffs, win the championship, take the trophy back from, if the Philly wins it, the Philly Birds, the Philly Buzzards, and bring it back to Irving, Texas, where it belongs. That's what's going to happen. However, if my good buddy Chief Moloch is watching, I forgot to tell you yesterday, the Kansas City Chiefs were originally the Dallas Texans. So technically, it's the Dallas Cowboys before they were the Dallas Cowboys. You know what I mean? So when we beat you in Super Bowl, I'll be very happy. I kept forgetting about that. I kept forgetting. So anyway, thank you guys for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe. Again, I was telling Demetra everything she needs to know to to fine tune her and get everything together. Because as you guys know, I own all rights to Demetra K, and I discovered her, and I was the first to produce her and all that great stuff. So now she's out there doing all that other stuff. Brother Phil Scott stole my talent. Stole my talent. Hasn't compensated me yet, but that's okay. Because you know what? We're on one accord. We can settle everything up later. So, anyway, what I want to talk about is I am getting countless emails and friends of mine that are asking me questions, and I think they're really great questions. Um, we don't ask enough questions. We don't use enough logic. And one of the questions is somebody asked me, and it just made me want to throw up. It did. And the question was, with everything that Donald Trump is doing, Donovan, you don't have a problem with any of it? You're okay with what Donald Trump is doing? My answer is a very simple answer. Yes, it's very, very simple. I am okay with it. You want to know why? I don't have time. Black people, in my opinion, we do not have time to worry about these other groups. If you've been following on my Facebook page, do I have Hispanic friends? Do I have Hispanic family members? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But the fact of the matter is, we are always helping other people, and our house is on fire. Nobody comes up and helps us with our house, but they expect us to come help them with their house. I saw a girl on YouTube, a Mexican girl, and she was talking about the first black Mexican president. And what she forgot to say in the video, how she put a spin on it, was how they ran that black president off and didn't institute anything but major racism against the dark uh, black Mexicans that still exist today. They want to pull our heartstrings and stuff, but like it's been said, if the situation was reversed and black people were being deported, do you guys actually think these people would be out there fighting for us and oh, we got to stop this and we got to stop that? I personally, I don't think so. I personally don't think so. Everybody's, all my friends, not all of them, but a lot of people are like, God, Donovan, what's gotten into you? This, that, that. Nothing's gotten into me. Nothing at all. Let's reverse it. If you went into Mexico right now without a passport and snuck over there, what would happen to you? If you went to any country in this world and went over there against their illegal immigration, please tell me what's fair is fair. It's an international. We live in an international, global economy and world. We all have similar laws that dictate who our countries are and all this other stuff. What would happen to you if you went into another country illegally? You'd be imprisoned. You'd be thrown out of that country for probably 10 years minimum, right? If they even get to you, depending on what country it is. And they would send you back to your home country. Why would I have a problem with a president who is supposed to execute the laws? So a lot of people have been telling me this. They go, Donovan, hey Michelle, I agree, Donovan. I've been telling black folks to stay out of it. This is not our fight, and it isn't our fight. We can't even stop the burning house that we have, and we're worried about everybody else first. Again, Marilyn Mosby, all those black district attorneys that did the Democratic bidding of Joe Biden and whatever, he didn't even give them a pardon. I pointed that out. I live in a predominantly Hispanic city, a predominantly Hispanic now, Hispanic neighborhood. It's been very quiet for the last week. It's been very, very quiet around here. Um, I don't I don't have time to worry about somebody else's situation. So they were like, well, you're supposed to be a Christian and all this other. I hate the way they make Jesus seem like a punk. I hate the way people, they take the Bible and they twist it and they make it seem like Jesus, he's just this, oh, whatever happens and love everybody. Like he's this real fucked up hippie. And he's not. Wasn't it Jesus in the temple throwing over tables and stuff like that and throwing money and all that stuff and just messing the place up? I hate the way they try to make Jesus other than what the Bible said that he did. And every Bible pretty much said that's what he did in that temple. And he gave the Pharisees the business. I'm not a religious person, but I was an altar boy. I was raised in the Catholic Church. I did go through all of my sacraments and all that other stuff. I hate that, the way they do that. So here's my point. I cannot worry about another person's situation when black people are homeless. We just Altadena, every structure in Altadena, a black city community, has been razed to the ground. Coincidence? The rich areas, there's still some homes that are still up, but every structure in the black community gone. It looks like a bomb hit that place. They put a $6 billion football stadium right on top of a black neighborhood. Coincidence? 1 million veterans homeless and on the streets. But we could let 22 million illegal people come into this country, house them, and give them cash money payments. But we can't solve the problem for the homeless veterans. And I'm supposed to be worried about people who broke the law. It's a national disgrace how we treat our veterans. You can't solve the veteran problem, but you can solve the migrant issue and house them and do all of that. And the veteran issue has nothing to do with color. That's my brothers and sisters in arms, and they're out there on the streets. It's wintertime and it's cold, and the American people do absolutely nothing. And we're supposed to cry for people who break our laws. Now, Donald Trump, who is enforcing the laws that is similar to all laws across the globe, I'm supposed to have a problem with that. I can't. Black people are the most homeless people in the United States, yet we make up less than about 13 to 14% of the population, according to the census, which I think is bullshit. There's no way we could do that. And we've been 13, 14% since the 1960s. That is no way. But Donovan, don't you have a passion? It's not my job to be compassionate. So I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get to you guys' comments. I want you guys to think about this because this is what a lot of people have been saying, especially a lot of my friends here. Like I said, I'm only 90 miles from Mexico, and a lot of them are first generation, right? And they go, "Oh my God, Donovan, I'm first generation, and my parents are good people. They've been working and they've been doing all this other great stuff. And do you think it's right that they should be deported?" Sorry about the accent. I know it's a real terrible accent, but I'm just trying to give you guys the emphasis of because at home she talks Espanol. First generation, she's dual language, so she's ahead of the game. But the point is, she majority speaks Espanol because that's what she speaks at home because that's what all her parents speak, right? Okay, they've been here for 30 years. They're good people. They work, they pay taxes, they do all of these things. I said, "Wow, okay." I said, "Yeah, that's pretty good." So so let me get this straight. Because your parents brought you here or came over here illegally, had you as an anchor baby, and they've been good citizens, they bought a house, they pay taxes, they do all of these things as a productive citizen or non citizen of the United States, and we're just supposed to forget it and let bygones be bygones, right? She goes, "Yeah, but they're good people. They haven't done anything, they don't break the law." I said, "Okay." I said, "I get it. Your first generation, those are your parents. So you have a vested interest in keeping your family together. I get it. But let's talk about this real quick. Let's say I rob a bank and I get away with it. 6 years pass. In those 6 years, I bought a house, a car, I started a business. So I'm paying up taxes. I contribute to the community, and I took a lot of money, right? 6 years has passed, right? Then they finally figure out I was the one that robbed the bank. They finally figure it out. Donovan was the one that robbed the bank. Do I get to keep the money? Do I get arrested? Do I go to trial and say, "Hey, wait a minute. I'm a good citizen. I've been here for, 7 years since I robbed the bank. I've been paying taxes. I got a good business, whatever, whatever, whatever. I'm a good person." Does that absolve me from robbing the bank and breaking the law? No, it doesn't. But your logic is saying, let it go. So I should be allowed to be free. So let's do another one. I'm a black man, which I am, and I murder somebody. I murder them good. I never got caught. And we see this in real time. We see this all the time, cold case files and stuff like that. They finally figure out through my DNA I was the killer. Because it's been 20 years, should they just let it go? I'm just saying, this is the reasoning these people are coming up with. This is how crazy the Democratic Party has gotten, how far left they have gone. So if I can't get away with my crime, why should anybody else be allowed to get away with their crime? I'm just saying. And this is where we're at. This is not my fight to worry about. If Donald Trump and white supremacy is going to come down on illegal immigrants, be it they're Haitian, Hispanic, African, whatever, white, Chinese, I don't care. I have nothing to do with that. I have nothing to do with that. My battle is homeless veterans and black people. That's what I got to focus on. American citizens first. I need to focus on that. And I know a lot of people are super religious, and the people that have been telling me this, they go, "Oh my God, Jesus said." Of course, they misuse the Bible. Jesus says, "Pay Caesar his tithes, obey Caesar's laws." That's in the Bible. So what does that mean? If you got to obey Caesar's laws, that means if there's an immigration law, you're supposed to obey it. When you break that law, you are going against God. So my answer is no. I'm not getting involved. Do I support it? Yes, and I'll tell you why I support deportation. Because with black people being at the bottom of the economic scale overall, illegal immigration hurts black people. I'll give you an example. Right now in my city, I see people with peddler's license selling food and stuff right on the corners. But if a black man was to set up a barbecue grill right on the corner, he would be shut down immediately. Why is it that these other groups get to turn this place into Little Mexico? I'm just saying. When a black person tries to open up a business, we have to go through all these regulations, and they're doing the checks, and the fire checks and all this other stuff, and they're just really coming down on black businesses. But all these other groups open up businesses. Next thing you know, the Asian massage parlor, and I'm not trying to be stereotypical, this has been happening. These Asian massage parlors open up. Next thing you know, it's a porn ring, human trafficking ring is going on. And they just figured it out. Black people, we need to mind our own business. Let Donald Trump enact the laws and enforce the laws like the Constitution says he's supposed to do. Now, I'm just one person. I'm just one person. And you guys see me, city council. When I need to go to city council, I go to city council. I'm involved in my city, and that's where I can start. Okay. On the national level, I'm a nobody. Nobody knows me. I'm one man, I'm one vote. That's it. But it is no secret that my city council member is a Hispanic woman, and she does a damn good job. And she's fair across the board. And it's a touchy issue. But guess what? Black people didn't cause this issue. We didn't cause this issue. Our struggle is not the same as their struggle. We're the only group that has come to the United States enslaved. I do not want to hear about the natives and the technicalities and this, that. Natives were or this, that. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about overall. Even if you brought up the native issue, were the natives stripped of their culture? Were the natives stripped of their land? Well, yeah, they were. Was the native stripped of their religion, their language, all of this stuff, their identity? No, they weren't. They have standing treaties with the United States government. Have the natives been compensated? Yes, they're allowed to have casinos and a whole bunch of shit on the reservation. And I'm all for it, and I support it because they have standing treaties. They are a nation within a nation. Blacks don't have a treaty with the United States. We don't have that. Damn, we don't even have protection. Asians do. Hey, Star Child, how are you doing? So, it's just we need to stay out of this whole situation and mind our business and let it do what it do. And it's going to be better for us as a people to do it because regardless if you think these little minor jobs, a good example. Remember when that chicken plant was raided and they found all those illegals in there working and stuff. They got rid of the illegals. Guess who took those jobs after the illegals were gone? Black people. No, they're not great jobs or whatever you want to call it, but it's a start. Those jobs are a start. And I was talking to a person, and they were just like, "Oh, we've got to resist Trump. We got to resist Trump." I said, "Are you saying that because you actually believe that? and you're doing it because you have a certain stance to it, or is it that the Democratic told you to resist Trump? Do your research. That person couldn't tell me why they hate Trump. I said, "Why do you hate Trump? What did Trump do to you?" The Democratic Party, and she even admitted the Democratic Party lies all the time. They are lying to you. Slave patrols, Project 2025. Where's that at, guys? I saw Demetra's Emancipation channel. She that I had said that, so she had kind of put me out there a little bit, which is great. But slave patrols, they're going to shoot us in the back. Uh, such and such and such and such. All this stuff. She admitted that she knows the Democratic Party lies. But why do I support Trump? Well, I definitely don't. One thing I hate is a person that lies to me. Everybody lies. I get it in some way, some form, or whatever, whatever, whatever. I A lot of people don't like liars. Mike Nice, how you doing? But one of the things that bothers me, I was talking to some fellas of mine because the guys are always going to try to co-sign on what the ladies are trying to co-sign. Now, regardless if I'm right or if I'm wrong, right? I'm making a stand as a man. I'm making my stand as a man. I'm standing on it 10 toes down, and I dare anybody to try to tell me this, that, this. As you see, I'm a veteran. I put my life on the line so that I can exercise my constitutional rights to speak the way I want to speak. If you have not done such, doesn't mean you're less of a citizen or anything like that, but you definitely don't have the right to try to silence me in what I'm saying or any of my compadres. It's bad enough the military personnel is treated like crap in this country. And yet people still step up to the plate to make sure you're not speaking Russian or Chinese. But I'm talking to this dude and a lot of these dudes, and I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I'm 5'10, I'm 173 pounds. Okay. Very, slim, whatever you want to call it. I've never been really overweight. I got some love handles. Uh, but, you know, fairly in shape. I'm 54 years old. I'll be 55 this year. Have traveled the world, have lived overseas, got a lot of experience. I've got 12 degrees, uh, been there, done it. I can do it all. Like I said, YouTube is my friend. If I need to find something out, I can do it. And I'm not trying to brag. Okay. It's just, it is what it is. I get bothered when I see grown men talk about they're scared. Man, ain't you scared about what Trump gonna do? What? You're scared about what Trump's gonna do, and some of these people are my military buddies. But you have no problem facing a billion Chinese soldiers, but you're afraid of a Donald Trump administration. I've given you guys the numbers over and over and over again. When you are at the bottom of an economic scale, and black people in this society is at the bottom, it doesn't matter if a strong man comes in, a liberal, your life doesn't change. We just had Joe Biden. How many of you guys' lives got better under Joe Biden? How many of you got better? And don't tell me, well, I got to raise up my job, whatever. I'm talking about, are you paying more taxes? If you are paying more taxes, why are you paying more taxes? Illegal immigration. Your life didn't get better. If you're paying more now than you did before Joe Biden, your life didn't get better. It got worse. Your average logical thinker, that's one of my airmen, sergeant there. Good to see you. How's the kid doing? I hope everything is great. You tell him stick with that language. I'm going to be pulling for him. Like I said, supposed to do. Uh oh, they're starting to mess with me. If he does everything he's supposed to do, we're going to have a bunch of scholarships and stuff lined up for him when he gets ready to go to college. Air Force Sergeants Association, NCO Association, National Guard Association, Airmen's Association, so on and so on. We're going to have all that lined up. Okay. Anyway, I'm really big on stuff like that. Loadmasters Association, flight engineer, all the different organizations that I'm a member of. It just bothers me when I hear grown men talk about they're afraid. Oh, I'm afraid. I'm afraid he's going to do this. Do you have a gun? Do you have a weapon at home? I can't say gun. Do you have a weapon at home? If you do, what are you afraid of? And what kills me is, like Demetra said, it kind of hit me because I wasn't understanding it until I really listened. I did a replay on one of her shows. And yeah, I have a question. What woman wants to lay up with a man that is moist like that? I know I have my issues being an alpha male, big Ike Turner supporter. I love Ike Turner. He made a successful black woman. You can't take that from him. He made her. He made her. You know, Ike Turner was a man of his time. Of course, you guys know that movie was bullshit, by the way. You guys know that was total fiction. That wasn't real. Uh, some of it was, but her jaw being broke, you cannot have a broke jaw then go sing. Just doesn't happen, okay? It's just unreal. But anyway, um, it just makes it like, yeah, what women are, as a man, I can't see going to my family and we're watching TV and we're sitting there and we're talking about, oh wow, honey, I don't know, man. I'm really scared Donald Trump. Donald Trump, oh, I'm scared, honey. You're the man. You're not supposed to be afraid. You're supposed to be the defender. That's your number one job. The number one P in the four P's of black men, if you've listened to Kevin Samuels, the number one job is protection. Number two is procreation, right? But number one is protection. Women get with men for protection, number one. Not because your hair look good, not because you're cute the way you dance, and oh, you dress nice. That doesn't happen. Not real women. But I am hearing all of these dudes that I had a lot of respect for talk about they're afraid. You're afraid. You've made it this far and you're afraid Donald Trump policies. He hasn't done anything that I'm aware of that hurts black people. Oh, he took DEI out of this, whatever. Man, he just banned trans people out of the military. Your average logical thinker, let me ask you a question. Isn't a person, and I could be wrong, isn't a person who identifies as trans has been diagnosed with body dysmorphia or something like that? It's called body dysmorphia, which is a mental illness. And if you have a mental illness about your body, how can you be an effective military person in the job that you are doing? Could you answer that if you know anything about that? See, military people, we know. Donald Trump banning trans people has nothing to do with me. That is not my fight. I am not fighting these battles for people that don't fight for me and my people. Oh, but there's black trans, whatever. Yeah, you're right. There are black trans. And this is why uh, these black, Hispanic, Asian, white people try to form this smaller group that they can identify they're that before they're black. They're this before they're Asian. It's kind of like remember when Ice Cube had his black plan, and Vivica Fox was like, "Well, what about women? What? You're black, right? So the plan will benefit you." But everybody wants their own little fiefdom. But the problem is, in a real democracy, if you really believe in democracy, it's majority rule, right? Um, Michelle says Trump had a news conference this evening. I thought it I thought he did very well explaining his agenda for America, which is bringing jobs back to America, making countries pay their fair share. Exactly. Exactly. I get tired of these little countries disrespecting the United States. Again, in one of my broadcasts, I had said, you can say what you want about the Panama Canal. Well, with the Panama Canal, I wish America would. They don't have a standing army. If we wanted to take the Panama Canal, we could do it by treaty, legally, and we could do it by force. That's the whole point of us giving them the Panama Canal, that we have strategic value to it. And if they don't like it, we will take it back. That's in the treaty, but people don't read, especially black people. Your average logical thinker says, originally that was the case from what I understand, but wokeness took over and the military changed. Individualism is in the lead, but I don't know honestly. Exactly. But see, Donald Trump just said the DEI programs, that has nothing to do with the military. See, the problem with is a lot of you civilians who don't understand the military, never been in the military. The only thing you know about the military, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, I'm just telling you guys the way it is because I'm a straight shooter. You've never been in the military. All you know about the military is what you see in the movies. That's all you know about the military. You guys are using the military as a social experiment. And some of these social experiments is not compatible with military life. It just isn't. In most of my career, I was told homosexual activity is not compatible in military life. It just wasn't. Then, when they got rid of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, that's when I knew it was time for me to go because I was going to have a problem with that because I've already been brainwashed into thinking for 20 something years this is not compatible. I can't switch my brain and say, yeah, hey, two guys, doing this. That's going to be hard. That's a hard flip. But one of the biggest problems is we have civilian leaders who've never been in the military and think that how the military operates is the same as how the civilian world operates, and it's not the same. Total different worlds. Totally different worlds. Michelle says, "Oh yeah, okay. You have a logical thinker originally, okay." And your logical think says, "Talking to Thunder." Okay, great. So what I'm trying to tell you, people out there, is you don't have to agree with me. If you want to go out there and fight for somebody else's legacy, somebody else's um, history, I'm not stopping you from doing a damn thing. You go ahead. You go ahead and do what you think you need to do for other groups, while your legacy suffers here in the United States. Black kids could barely read past the sixth grade education, but you worried about people being that broke the law being deported. But if your son went into Walmart as a little child and took some candy, he's already headed to the prison pipeline. You wouldn't see no other group standing up for him. Not one. And and I hate to say that it's a racial thing, but it's not. It's a survival thing. 24 million black babies since the 1970s have been deleted at the hands of their own parents. We don't have the numbers. Michelle says, my husband went into the military in 88. That's when I went. I went 87, 87, 88. Vietnam vets trained him. Yeah, I was trained by the Vietnam. He said they were the best leaders and trainers. Yeah, the one thing about those Vietnam vets and those old Korean and World War II vets, you train them to kill and then they won't stop. They're going to teach killing to the next generation. They just won't stop. They give them a job like, hey, you'll be a good guy to teach the next generation of military how to kill. Um, he said they were the best leaders and trainers. He served our country for 21 years. I enjoyed our time in the military. Yeah, I'm a Cold Warrior as well. Like I said, I was on the last end of that, last end of that. But the sad thing is, we don't even respect people's opinions, right? I don't go, okay, social media. I don't go on other people's pages and paste my thoughts and ideas. I look at my page like I look at my house. If you don't like what you see here, don't come here. And I've been consistent for years. Now people are like, oh my God, Donovan, oh my God, you're so far this, you're so that. No, I've been the same. Now, when I was in the military, because remember, I was born into the military. I didn't just join it, I was born into it. When I was in the military, I had to keep everything to myself because that's a different aspect of it's not compatible. Civilian thought and military thought, they're not compatible. We need to do the job and keep your personal feelings out of it. It's business. Killing is a business. Okay. Peace. I was in SAC. Peace is our profession. That was our logo. Peace is our profession. That was our slogan. Peace is our profession. Strategic Air Command, which means if we're not at peace, we're devastating you. Okay. Your average logical thinker, I missed no nonsense leadership when they started allowing E3s to dictate missions and question everything. I said, F this, I'm out. I'm out. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I really started getting scared, your logical thinker, okay, as a pilot, when we're doing the flight books and the maintenance books. And just before you take off, you kind of go through it with the crew chief. And there's a red X. So let's say there's a something wrong that was red X and he fixed it. I looked at this young kid. He had been in service 4 years. He was already a staff sergeant, but he wasn't a 7 level. He wasn't even a 5 level. And I was like, oh my God. Being a former crew chief, I had to go look at the work myself. That's how scared I was getting. They were just promoting these guys, and let's not even talk about the women in the maintenance field. Your average logical thinker. Let's not even talk about the women in the maintenance field. Now they had some women that knew their stuff and that were really good, but for the life of me, I will never understand how a girly girl, and oh, I used to hate this. They made these positions up for these girly girls in the maintenance field, and they were called maintenance analysts. And I would ask them, well, what is it that you really do here? Oh, well, I did the paperwork and I put it out, and then I just, they really couldn't explain it to me. But they made those positions, and the next thing you know, this girl's a tech sergeant. Then she's a master sergeant. You're like, wait a minute. She's a maintenance analyst. Came in as a crew chief or a specialist. Then she crossed over as a maintenance analyst. Next thing you know, she's a tech sergeant within 8 years. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. It's time for me to go. Thunder says, what do you think will happen when all of these other groups finally realize that FBA's hung up the cape and are not coming to the rescue? Well, Thunder, I don't know if you've been watching YouTube. I've been watching it pretty much all day. They're already panicking. They're already panicking, saying, well, why aren't the black people helping us? Why aren't they coming out? And they're coming up with these analogies of when they were helping us 200 years ago. There's a lady,